All right, so as I was saying, this is the Mesozoic era, the middle period, also known as the Age of Reptiles. Of course, that's we're talking about the dinosaurs, right? So it's broken up into three periods: the Triassic. Let's go to the yeah. So the Triassic, the Jurassic, and the Cretaceous period. Um, All right, so let's examine each of those, and yeah. All right, so the Mesozoic begins with the world. The world landmass is above sea level, of course. Um, the sea invades Western North America. Just to be aware of that. We can tell when we dig up sea creatures in the middle of Kansas and things like that. All right, the breakup of Pangea begins to form the Atlantic Ocean. That it just begins. Okay, so it's just a small. There's a small rift that begins between what's going to become North America and Europe. Eventually, it'll go all the way down between um, South America and Africa as well. Subduction of the ocean crust produces widespread deformation of volcanism and mountain building along the western coast. All right, so that's we're talking about starting things like the Andes and the Rockies. Um, so the Rockies begin to form. All right, so this is the beginning of the Mesozoic. All right, so let's go to the next slide. So survivors of the Paleozoic extinction. Remember that this is the largest extinction. And this is not the only extinction that's going to take place within the Earth, within our planet's long history. But this was the most dramatic at the end of the Paleozoic. Remember, that's the Permian, also known as the Permian extinction. So here's some things that happen. You get pines growing, redwoods, flowering plants for the first time, insects that are very specialized. They evolve into very specialized. Um, uh, Anyhow, the next thing is about the reptiles, the first true terrestrial animals. They adapt very quickly in this very warm climate of the Mesozoic, um, and of course that's when the dinosaurs come along. So one group is what is eventually is going to lead us to become. That's what becomes the birds. The birds that we have today, of course. Many groups, along with other animal groups, become extinct at the close of the Mesozoic. We'll talk about that. Why does that happen? Let's see. Here, let's. All right, let's just look at the land masses for right now. Okay, so at the beginning of the Mesozoic era, we have Pangea, right? And then remember the Mesozoic era is also the beginning, the breakup of Pangea, right? So after the Mesozoic is complete, so 65 million years ago, we have some distinct continents. Africa is still attached to Eurasia. North America is still attached to Eurasia. And India has broken off. South America has broken off. So this is 65 million years ago, and that's the beginning of the era, the Cenozoic era. Okay, so that's the end of the Mesozoic, and then of course it can for the next 65 million years. The continents continue to drift apart. All right. So what's important about this is, remember, this all starts in the Mesozoic. So that notice the first thing is I'm jumping to this, but let's say, the eastern coast of South America and the western coast of Africa were connected, right? But before this rifting starts taking place, um, so remember, this is during what's called the Triassic period. So the Triassic is the first period of the Mesozoic, and then comes the Jurassic, the middle one, and then the Cretaceous period. Okay. Anyhow, so think of the species on one side, the side of that is South America, and then species on the side that is Africa, are the same species, right? But over the period during the Triassic, as Africa and South America begin to split, those life forms begin to diverge, and in fact start to encounter new climatic changes, right? So there's different climates for them, as the Atlantic Ocean grows, and these species are no longer in contact with each other, and so they diverge. They go their own way. All right. Let's see what else. Here, let me go back. I just wanted to show this. The breaking up of Pangea. All right, so let's look back at this. All right, the Mesozoic life, dinosaurs dominate. We just mentioned that. All right, so one of the things that we find at the end of the Mesozoic, this is of course the Cretaceous period, that there is the very end of it, and there is this 65 million years ago, there is a huge extinction event. Not as big as the era before, but it was still a big event, and most land animals that were bigger than maybe a modern dog, just kind of a medium-sized dog. All those land animals died, and of course, you're talking about huge dinosaurs that all go extinct, and the reason that has been given, and this occurred in the year 1980, or the evidence for this occurred. We found in 1980 that there was this huge impact. It was a gigantic asteroid, and the location of it has been found. As a matter of fact, it's off the Yucatan Peninsula in the Gulf of Mexico. Here, so let's see. The breakup of Pangaea was the greatest tectonic event in the Mesozoic. Of all the continent unions that existed in the Paleozoic time, which one survived today? So the only one that still survives is Europe and Asia. All right, so that's all right. The Cenozoic, the small fraction of geological time. It was a smaller fraction of geological time. So this is, after the Mesozoic. So this is 65 million years ago. This is also known as the age of mammals. Pangea has broken up completely. There's two periods, the tertiary and the quaternary. So we live in the quaternary period, by the way. We'll go into that in just a moment. Let me talk a little bit about the asteroid impact. So this is showing us this region off the coast of Mexico, in the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico, and this thing is gigantic. I mean, the asteroid that caused this was probably greater than 10 or maybe even 20 miles in diameter. It was gigantic. And now why would a collision with an asteroid with an asteroid colliding with the Earth, why would that cause this mass extinction? And so what we believe happened, of course, any creatures in the immediate vicinity, probably 500 to 1,000 miles away, would have died instantly when just they would have been vaporized. It would have just been so incredibly hot. But what about the animals and plants and things on the other side of the planet? So we think what happened is this extinction event, this collision was so severe that it caused a great deal of dust to be put up into the atmosphere, and that reduced the amount of photosynthesis around the world. And so as the plants died, that was the food source for most of the dinosaurs, or the dinosaurs that ate other dinosaurs. But that's true. There were dinosaurs that only ate other dinosaurs, but they were feeding on dinosaurs that ate the plants, right? And so that basic food source was greatly reduced, and that caused this incredible mass extinction. And that's what we see. The fossil evidence shows this. And so this time during the late Mesozoic, which is called the Cretaceous period, there's this what's called the KT boundary. Okay, so the KT boundary is this. And the KT boundary, by the way, we find all over the planet, right? So there is this isotope called it's an element called iridium, right? Iridium is actually pretty rare on the Earth, but we find this layer of iridium all over the planet at exactly the same time. Was basically deposited 65 million years ago. So no matter where you are on the planet, you find this layer of iridium, and this was in the Alvarez, the team of it was a father and son, the Alvarez family were the ones that discovered this. And that was the evidence that it was a collision from space that caused the extinction of the dinosaurs. Because the other thing is we find iridium in asteroids. We've explored the solar system and sampled asteroids and comets and things like that, and that's where we find the iridium. You don't find it so much on Earth, and so the fact that there's this layer that is exactly 65 million years old, and that's when the dinosaurs all died out at the end of the Mesozoic era. Anyhow, all right. So this is the age of mammals. Let's get into this. So this is the Cenozoic period. This is our modern times. As I said before, the Tertiary is that came before, and then there's of course the Quaternary. All right. So North America and Greenland split from Europe. The Alps and the Himalayas are forming. The ridge formation and the plates move, which of course lead to the San Andreas Fault. And of course, if you look at Baja California, which sticks out into the Pacific Ocean, that was because of the San Andreas Fault. That was torn away from Mexico. Right? I mean, it's part of Mexico, but there's the Gulf in there that basically leads to the Pacific Ocean. During the Cenozoic, the climate's cooled. There's great glaciation. There's these huge glaciers that come. There was up to a third of the land mass is covered with glaciers, with ice, and marine mammals